go. And have we added... let's add a little bit of pepper. Oh, you know what? We'll add both. Oh, and now it's preparing new stir fry. Okay, that was good that we noticed that. Oh, this is going to be very nice. Not so great for the boredom side of things, but... can I pop this anyway? Can I split this? No, I can't. I'm just going to have to eat it. Am I going to have to eat this out of the griddle pan? Seems a little bit uncivilized, but... Yeah, Tarkov allows you to shoot yourself in the foot. Yeah, but probably both literally and figuratively when it comes to your gun modding. Just because you can do a thing doesn't mean that it's going to be a useful thing to do. I'm not burning all the food. No. I'm trying not to anyway. At this point, you should rename your character Gordon Ramsay. I only recently really got into Zomboid. I started playing it way back when. I can't remember the actual date. I'm not even sure that I was Let's Playing, so it may have been prior to 2013. But I often like use the instance where the devs had their flat burgled and lost their laptop, which more or less had the only copy of the code on, so it set them back months upon months of dev time. That was around when I first became aware of Zomboid and supported it and played the very early versions. And then I basically didn't touch it from there. For the longest time, there was just so much else going on, especially once I started Let's Playing and I was constantly jumping from game to game. So when I jumped into the game recently, it was mind-blowing how much had changed. When I first started playing it, I was initially confused. There wasn't some sort of tutorial scenario where a husband had to make some pretty weighty decisions about his wounded wife, and so the cooking system has actually blown my mind a bit. It is so in depth considering what I was used to. Yeah, dude, the Zomboid coding life is a damn sitcom. We had so many weird things happening to us. Oh, yeah, I remember at least a couple of them because I kind of kept an eye on the development progress. It honestly did actually feel like it was on the verge of like EastEnders level drama. Like every other time I checked it out, it was like the sort of thing is like, how is this happening to these same people over and over? My God. Right, let's have a look. That is stupidly good hunger. All right, I think we're going to eat 1/4. Otherwise, I will actually pop myself. There we go. Feels bad, though. Can I not pop this into something? I can't. Well, let's go in the fridge then, because that seems dumb not to. That's fresh, uncooked. Should be okay for a little while longer. Though I am starting to worry about the rest of the food, so I'm going to move those into the... because I've got enough food here for quite some time. The egg carton I worry about? Oh, actually... oh, it's empty? Right, okay, well, the egg carton I don't worry about. We'll grab that and we'll pop that somewhere. Actually, let's pop the egg carton up here. Oh, it's not actually open. That makes me sad. Can I rotate it? Apparently not. Oh well, the egg carton can just sit there. Right. I'm not bored enough to sleep, but it is now morning, so the first thing we're going to do is equip this as my secondary. Listen in. Let's tune in, see what they have to say today. Wonder if we could read a book, maybe. I'm really having to struggle with my boredom. Oh, no, sit on ground. Periodic cloudy spells, but we're not going to see any rain, sadly. Alright. Oh, apparently, whilst reading, I'm not going to turn this off, so let me take care of that first. Oh, no, really? Did I lose the book? Oh, no. Phew. I was like, no, I stopped reading it. Ah, the book's useless. Throw it away. Oh, well, thank you very much, friendly ghost. That's super kind of you. Thank you so much. Robert now has access to all of the DAP emotes. Oh, here's a question you can answer for me, Robert. With your insider coder knowledge. There seems to be so much anecdotal opinion. Everyone, well, not everyone, but there seems to be a fairly heavy split between people who feel that wearing bloodied material, like say you've got pants on that are covered in zombie blood, and you get a scratch on your leg, is wearing bloodied clothes going to increase the chances of that scratch, like that laceration or whatever, infecting you with the zombie virus? Or not? Because the amount of people that have said yes, and then the amount of people that have said absolutely not. And I have no idea. Damn, if people don't know, I don't want to tell them. I approve of that so much, even though I do want the answer. Damn it. But it's glorious. But yeah, that definitely is one that seems to have a divided opinion. It does increase the chance in Cataclysm, yeah. Okay, so no, it doesn't do anything yet, but we're often thinking heavily about this. Well, I mean, when one of my friends mentioned that it would happen in a collab that we're currently recording, it just sounded so sensible. It was like, yeah, no, okay, that sounds perfectly fine, and it also gives me a reason to wash the blood off my clothes, like, neurotically. And considering, you know, the virus in-game is spread by fluids, it makes all the world of sense that those fluids in blood, if it's, you know, it's just clinging to your clothes and that gets into a scratch, well, you're buggered. No uncertain terms. So it makes sense for that to happen. I wouldn't consider that a negative at all. Myself, I would think that completely sensible. I need to go and get more garbage bags so I can make some more rainwater collectors. But I'm also one of those masochists that is quite happy that there is a 100% lethality if you get bitten. And only if it's a scratch or a laceration that involves a zombie is there an uncertainty about the outcome. Ooh, cockroach. Very well, I will take you, I suppose. Can't say no. I can always use that. Actually, can I use that to bait a mouse train? A rat would definitely eat a cockroach. But a mouse I have no idea on. I actually legitimately don't know if mice are would eat insects or not, or whether they're strict herbivores. I wouldn't think they are. I want to say that mice are omnivores, but I've never kept mice. I'm not going to pretend that I have. Okay, loads more cans. And this is why I'm not eating canned food, is that I've got so much right now that is going to be useful for later. I do want to come back through these... Oh, dead rat. Rotten. Ah, alas. That sucks, but okay. I'm still going to take it, because once my cooking level is high enough, I do believe that there is a small chance that you can get something out of rotten food. That you become capable... or rather skilled at cutting away the rotten meat and salvaging some nutrition out of it. Which I think is a pretty cool mechanic, because the reality is, and again, this is someone who's hunted a fair bit, is even when meat is not the freshest, there is a lot of stuff that is bad about, that makes like rotten meat bad for your health, that cannot survive the process of being cooked. Now, the meat is going to stink to high heaven, but if you were in a like, you know, realistically, you're never going to take the chance in like, you know, if you have the option of just buying another, you know, whatever or what have you. But yeah, meat is significantly more harder than most people give it credit for. Yes, rain boots seem amazing. Run speed modifier is down, but sure, I'll pop that on. Tempted to have a look at the flip-flops, but no. I'm not going to be wearing flip-flops. It's a pristine hammer. Exactly, Z-Wolf here. This is one of the this is why I laugh so much that my character gets depressed that I put three servings of the same meat in this stew. Awful. I'm so bored of this meat. It's like literally living through the zombie apocalypse. I'm happy that I have food. I don't actually need it to be varied. I just need it to not be dangerous. Trying to eat me. Anything in here that I want to grab? I think I have looted this place thoroughly. But how thoroughly is a question. Maybe I haven't taken that much. Would you want to eat carrion, though? I mean, the question there... I think it depends on how long you've had to adapt to the new reality. And I'm going to hit you with a bit of a maybe a hashtag real talk hit here that no one asked for, but kind of along the lines of what I've found myself saying to some of my friends in regards to COVID, when they've been saying, oh well, you know, it'll be good when this goes back to normal, that goes back to normal, and someone screamed off in the distance, and I've found myself saying, you need to accept that some of this is now the new normal. And it's not going to go back to the way it was before. I think after a certain point, you would become desensitized to living like a carrion feeder. We're not built for it. Like, we can't just consume decaying matter in the same way like a ferret can. Ferret can absolutely eat rotten meat. Their digestive system is primed for that. Ours isn't. Ours is significantly less robust. That doesn't mean that... oh, brown sugar, that's quite good. That doesn't mean that if we had access to cook it, that we wouldn't be able to eat it, though. If you cook quite a lot of things, like I said, a lot of the stuff in food that will make it unhealthy for us can't survive the process of cooking. But, you know, coming back to what you're saying, would I be happy to? Probably not. I probably would prefer not to if I could avoid it. But again, depending, if I've acclimatized to this being my new normal, I'm just going to be like, well, it's food. You know, it's after a point. Like, if you're having to scrape by with rainwater, after a certain point, you're like, I want a drink. As long as it won't kill me, the only thing I care about is if it's wet or not. There is a point where you're just like, yeah. Right, how is my weight is actually starting to rise with a swiftness now, so I'm actually going to start freezing. I'm going... Is there a way for me to tell if something will perish outside of a freezer? I'm going to... I want to say I need to freeze that. I am going to keep the rat and the cockroach in there, though. The chicken can go in there, too. I'm going to need to start warming some of this up shortly. However, this has been in there for ages. I'm going to drink half a can of this beer. Look, I'm not sure, to be honest. The moment you sit down to have a bite to eat is likely to be the moment you realise life is shit. Is this like some sort of commentary on RimWorld? Is it like 8 without a table actually want to murder my friends now? I can't live like this anymore. Burn down the house, yep. Hey. Having rat in the freezer is the most Skaven thing you could do. I don't know if the Skaven are going to take any exception to the fact that I'm eating a Skaven. They would absolutely do it themselves. You forget who you're talking about. It's the Skaven. Ooh, I've got pancake mix. I need to pop that in place. But yeah, I would love... See, coming back to what we were talking about... Oh, I can't fit that in there, damn it. Coming back to what we were talking about, though, in regards to realism. There is... Sandboxes with a high kind of faithfulness to realism, where realistically one person is going to be very incapable of the vast majority of industrial, just the industrial work, much less the knowledge. Like, given enough time, you might be able to study how to do things. But realistically, one person can only do so much. Like, there's so much in our current economy and industry is built on top of the fact that we had a foundation of advanced industry already. Like, you couldn't just go back to if, I don't know, some sort of terrible calamity happened and a vast amount of the population of the planet was gone. It's kind of like the whole Horizon Zero Dawn. It would take you a few decades. It would be possible, but we're talking the kind of the scale of time that is huge, and it's quite impractical for most games, for you to be able to elevate a very primitive culture to the point where they could, I don't know, build robots or what have you. Or even basic industrial production on the scale that we understand industrial production. Industrial scale production, rather. Then you've got your cataclysms, where one person just kind of like, yeah, so yesterday I was a backpacker. I barely knew how to make a campfire. It's been 3 months, and I've just finished building my own mobile HQ base that can deploy drones, and I smelted all the ore myself. I got it down in the mine, and all the electronics. I failed all of my school. In fact, I never went to school. I just fell out of the shower onto some glass. I was so drunk. It was an awful time, but now I'm basically God. And it's like you've got to decide where you want the game to be, which one you want to have. Having a game that is really realistic is going to involve having so many restrictions on what you can do as a realistic person in that world. Can I not move these over? I might actually fill it up, I'm guessing. I don't know. Let's have a look. That's my main problem with crafting stuff. In real life, I love making stuff. I'm currently making my own guitar from scratch. That sounds amazing. So I struggle sometimes to know if people know these skills or not. My general, and this is perhaps a little bit idealistic, view on do people have these skills, is that I feel that most people have, as long as they could speak the language, and definitely if they had some sort of media device. If they were having to read from books, I would say not everyone, but enough people would be able to, from a book, build up the requisite knowledge. But at the same time, how long would it take them to get it? I feel it's kind of the same sort of problem, like using RimWorld as an example. Why Tynan is always like, well, we're not going to add kits. Because the time scale that it would take for that to be anything other than basically a prop would not be fun within the context of the game. In Dwarf Fortress and games like Dwarf Fortress, you can easily have that sort of stuff going on, and multi-generations can pass. And it makes sense that a culture would actually learn and get better at something. So, for example, they can become better at ranching certain animals. But that doesn't really make sense in a game that doesn't have the ability to pass literally decades within the span of a good long gaming session. Like one of my streams. Let's say like you sat down, you got completely absorbed, you played for 12 hours without realizing it. You could easily have passed a decade in Dwarf Fortress in that time. You cannot pass that kind of timescale in this. Even on maximum speed, I don't think that's realistic. And so at that point, it's like, well, how would you justify someone who knew nothing to begin with? Because, my character has like no skills in most things. And that's one of the things that I like about this game. It's actually a grind to get the skills up. Even some of them are actually quite fast. Like my carpentry is halfway there, but and that was starting more or less from nothing. But I do have a skill bonus because they're handy, so it kind of makes a little bit of sense. But there's lots of places where I don't have that skill bonus. It wouldn't make sense for my character to have to be able to get to any point where they were like producing anything particularly complex from nothing, from starting from zero. Right, I need to drop this hammer off, but I'm kind of wondering where I should put these things. What I really want is a shed. Maybe I should try and build a shed. Either that or I could leave them on the floor, or... Wait a second. Can't I make a crate? 3 planks, 3 nails. I might be able to build a crate underneath it. That actually might be perfect. Alright, well, I'm going to drop the hammer on... Well, actually, I could put... Yeah, I'll drop the hammer on the floor, because I don't actually want to carry it with... Well... No, I'll pop it on my belt. Sure. Carpentry... When you say carpentry is relatively simple to learn, the basic idea of carpentry is simple to learn. I would say there's a significant degree of repetition and practice that goes into being a carpenter. I may be biased as the son of a carpenter, but I'm going to say that theoretically carpentry appears simple, but there's actually a lot to it. I would say that someone who had only a bookish knowledge of carpentry is likely going to make something incredibly flimsy compared to someone who's actually worked the trade of a carpenter for a couple of years. Even if they understand the core concepts of smack thing with hammer, nail go in, attach 2 pieces of wood. It's like, there's a little bit more to it. Right, we need to sleep. Very tired. Please, I learned basic carpentry in school. That's the key word, though. Basic. I'm certain, I'm confident that you can make a very nice pencil case. I am positive that you can do this. I would, in fact, be shocked if you couldn't. You might even be able to embellish it a bit, you know? Smooth out those edges. You might be able to make a very sturdy pencil case that you could throw across the room and it would dent the room rather than the pencil case. Would I trust you to put up a roof? Probably not. I made a chair. It didn't even wobble. Well, actually, man, I trust that's true as well. Right. But again, as I'm saying, there's going to be a difference between someone who understands the carpentry on like a book knowledge level versus someone who's actually done the trade. I don't know if you can barricade the windows on the doors, sadly. I don't know. I'd like to find out, but as far as I'm aware, you can't. Right, I need to grab this with me. Grab toolbox. Am I carrying too much with me all over the place? I don't feel I am. I feel like what I've got is kind of necessary, but at the same time. Okay, I'm going to finish off my beer. Oh, I need to drop off these shoes too. I've got my wellies. Oh, you can actually barricade the doors. Oh, okay. I was asking people, and they said that you would barricade the door. So, as in, you wouldn't be able to open the door anymore, which is very much not what I want to do. Alright, let's have... I'm gonna grab... 1, 2. No, don't grab the third. I'm going to quickly eat these. I need a garbage tin just... Oh, really? I'm not going to remember that's there. Right, time to eat all. Turn that off, and then eat all as well. Bow is planned. Oh, that's fantastic. I was actually wondering about that. I was wondering if bow was going to be added in. As much as going, you know, kind of backwards in terms of the technological level of certain tools. There's something very dependable about the tools that we've been using for thousands of years. That's why we've been using them for thousands of years. Sure, let me see if I can actually barricade this then. Let me grab all these planks. Oh, I think I misunderstood. It would no longer function as a door. I think you can put furniture in front of it. Oh, right, okay. Oh, that's fine. We'll get to that. Right, well, in that case, I'm going to move these planks back up here so I can use them for a... Let's drop those down so I can use them to make a crate in there. I only need 2 more. I do love the fact that apparently the moon phase is simulated. That's particularly nice. Let's pop that back on. Right. You're going to be disassembled? Take care, Jessner. Very interesting you mentioned that the arrows, part of the problem with math is simply that an arrow is a three-dimensional object living in a two-dimensional world. That was part of the dev blog. Again, I'm going to call it a dev blog, even though it didn't really come across too much like a dev blog. But it's kind of amusing how, had this been a full 3D game, some of the math would have been significantly easier to do, like the Z layers and stuff. Can I not break you down? Apparently not. Oh, I might be able to if I pop you in there and then break you down. Can I do that? No, I can't. Okay. Hello, gentleman gamer. How are you doing? Right, let's take the battery out. Maybe that's what the problem is. Do wish I'd gone out of my way to get more of these earlier. So options. No, I can't break it down. Do I not have a screwdriver? Oh well. I'll pop it in there for now. There we go. Perfect. Right, let's grab these. Put them in the duffel bag. That I should be able to make a crate. And little by little, our humble abode is becoming... Well, I mean, it's not heavily fortified, but it is becoming more fortified with time. I'm thinking I might actually barricade the front door, though. The only reason I don't is that there's... I do worry that if I make an area that... oh, there we go. Wooden crates. Can I slide that in? And ooh, is that going to interact in a weird way? Let's find out, chat. But I do worry that if I barricade the door at the front and then I get swarmed at the back, I'm not going to have an exit route. I kind of feel like my character survives because they've almost always got a place that they can run away to. Do I not have that in there yet? Nope. Is that actually there? Yes, there we go. Ah, right, okay. I just needed to give it a bit of an update. It's a bigger storage place as well, which is fantastic. Okay, so I'm thinking... I'm going to move over... all the tools. Gas can. Actually, having those on the shelf kind of makes a little bit more sense, but... Oh, the other thing I can do is I can make weight ascending. And then just move over some of the bigger items. Though some of them are only heavy because there's lots of them there. Yeah, I think we're going to stick with the idea of moving over tools primarily. Well, actually, I think I'm going to flip this around. We're going to have the tools on the shelves because they're less capacity, and there's going to be less tools, I should imagine. I will keep the box of nails here for the time being, but slowly but surely we'll fill this up. Oh my lord, I'm having to move each one slowly, one at a time. Could always make a little airlock with walls and a gate in front of the doors instead of boarding up the doors. Yeah, I considered that, especially at the back, because I'm not sure how the zombies will interact with my rain catcher. And I wouldn't want them to just wander over it and destroy it. Oh, they won't interact with it. Okay. Oh, I don't know. Having bows just to get them into the game using gun logic, that feels like you're creating a problem for yourself later down the road. Because the game doesn't, like, it's not, the game isn't suffering for a lack of bows being in it. But if you put bows in and then an awful implementation, then the game will suffer as a consequence. It's kind of like, I'm trying to think of an analogy, but effectively, if you don't give something to someone, then they can't judge its implementation poorly. Actually, considering you mentioned Gordon Ramsay, I remember one episode of Hell's Kitchen. Everything was going to shit. Everything was just collapsing. Nothing was going right. Someone had even forgotten to turn on the ovens. It was a nightmare. And in the end, he was like, right, close the kitchen. It is better that I don't give them any food at all than I give them bad food. And that actually stuck with me. It was like, that's an interesting point of view. And the more I thought about it, the more it made sense. You can't be judged poorly for the implementation of something you haven't implemented. If I drop that on the floor, then I can just pop the tools into it fairly quickly. There's already a hammer in there, so I won't bother that time. I'll put the hammer in the other. Pop the hammer up here. Now, what do I consider tools in this setting? I'm going to say the alarm clock is a tool, definitely. I'm going to say the box of nails. Yeah, kind of, actually. Add up. Oh, my trowel is in the... I don't think having the trowel in the toolbox actually makes any sense at this point. The trowel seems like something I would very much want to use sparingly. That being said, honestly, the same could be said for the lug wrench. Yeah, I'm going to take the adhesive tape out. I'll just keep the nails in there. I will keep the trowel, but for the time being, I'm going to pop those up here. Same with the box of screws and the box of nails. Now, I am absolutely 1000% aware that at any moment, I could be raided so heavily that I have to abandon this base and all of this inventory management will have been for nothing. It is something that is preying on my mind. Nevertheless, we're going to continue doing it this way. Duct tape can go up there as well, I think. But everything else can just stay down here. Matches as well. I'm going to consider them a tool. We can pop that up there too. Negative floors are going to be possible. Basements, sewers, bunkers. Oh, that's actually really cool, Robert. The confirmation that that's going to be worked on soon. That's amazing. Right. So we're going to need a load more planks to finish up the fortification around here. But primarily right now what I want is... Oh, actually I need to drop off the battery. And the radio. And also tear that radio down. Let's pop that in here. The battery can go up there, though. Right, can I break this radio down now? Yes. Perfect. Raided by Horde? How and why would it happen? Well, I mean, at the beginning of the stream, a helicopter decided to do a flyby and turned my relatively peaceful neighborhood, in which I had killed all the starter zombies, into a nightmare, and I had to go and run and stand on a road in the middle of the night, just constantly worried that I was going to be eaten at any moment. So I'm definitely considering it a possibility that all sorts of things can happen. The world still feels a little bit alive, in that there are random gunshots here and there. There are screams out in the darkness, dogs barking, so on and so forth. Things that will pull zombies in a direction. From what I understand, the default survivor rule set, there is zombie respawning and also item respawning to I think as well. The zombie respawning makes a little bit more sense, because the game is creating this illusion that there are other survivors out there. And so zombies respawning is basically just more survivors died. They're out there doing things, probably banding together. They're never where I am, kind of thing. But if you clear your surroundings, though, you're kind of good. You could always trigger an alarm nearby, or by driving a car, and the Horde will follow. Is the helicopter event a multiple time thing? Because I saw people in chat mentioning that it happens every X many days. Oh, helicopter comes only once in the game unless you change sense. Ah. Oh, well, in that case, that's fantastic. Oh, well, so this house will be fine then. As long as I don't lead any zombies back here, we should be good. That has made me significantly happy. I am actually super bored. I am in danger of becoming unhappy. I'm so bored. That seems like a luxury problem to me, but okay. Right, let me grab... Yeah, let's grab an audiobook. I am going to also grab the meat salmon stir fry. I'm going to cook the meat salmon stir fry. I am going to listen to the Yates audiobook and probably read a book, because multitasking is awesome. Oh, wait. That doesn't say better cooked. Huh. Interesting. No, it's straight up burning. Very well. Grab. A gyrocopter. Yeah, no, that's definitely getting to the area where it's like, it feels weird to me that such things are possible. It's like, yeah, no, it's a zombie apocalypse. I got beaten up by the Duke. I didn't know how to build the walls around my base a few days ago, but now I can build a gyrocopter because I got the schematics. IKEA has advanced significantly in the apocalypse, apparently. Right, what book should we read? We've already read that one. Oh, wait. The Farming Magazine. Teaches the recipe, mildew cure, and... okay, well, grab the magazine. It's only a magazine, so it's not going to give us a lot of stuff. What skills can I benefit from right now? Fishing, maybe, if I've got that. Let's adjust it. Tailoring for intermediates. No. Trapping. I've already got trapping. Metalworking, maybe? Or I can go for mechanics for beginners. That would allow me, I think, to handle vehicles. That's probably the next big focus for the character, will be working with vehicles.